What our world needs now is more founders. In this 15-minute video, you will see a proven process to make that happen. My method evolved over 30 years consulting on marketing to top investment firms. I created what I call my Ouija board. It's really a simple structure to help clients see where they are in their marketing, to uncover opportunities, and to face barriers. At the end, they could make decisions on how to increase their marketing momentum. It was magic. Turns out the tool works equally well for small nonprofits, social change artists, and individual entrepreneurs. All you need is a clear vision and unstoppable passion. In this video, two professional businesswomen recount what they discovered working with me. In short order, they were able to make breakthroughs. Thank you to my friend Charlotte Beyer, brilliant founder of Principal Quest, who arranged this workshop for her members. Thank you for filming the presentation, and thanks for all you do.
I promised Dana I wouldn't overdo the introduction, but she was iconic. When I was growing up on Wall Street, everyone knew Dana Dakin Associates, and everyone wanted to use her. She was phenomenal. So you were very lucky today to hear her.
Very useful to have this grid. First of all, I think in Millie's case, we realized he was dancing all over the board. And you do that in the beginning of getting a business pointed in positive momentum direction. But the sooner you can really pick your box, your position, you're better off. So with just a little questioning, you can figure out where your greatest passion comes from. Is it because it's becoming clear and you really have an insight on what this new model is about? Then you're in two. If you have a new idea that you have developed from your past experience that is evolving out of old way and it's coming on the scene, you're in one. You see the passion is, it has to be better. It needs to be really radically sort of looked at. And this is the new way that we need to talk about it. And then if you see that you're in a place where what you do is like others, and it's already recognized, but you will see yourself within that competitive field as someone who does this. So you stay within three, you tell the story of why you're better. And by the way, in box 3, it's very important to have no surprises. It is a relationship that you usually have with these people. It's often a fee business, and you need to not have surprises. So if something is coming up, you need to educate in advance of this might happen, this could happen. It's just such a great way to build credibility. In box 4, you have finally designed something quite elegant that it has impact and can be used by many. Then you passionately go for a brand and a product that is off the shelf, but better than anything else.
Dana and I met a week ago to review this chart and to talk about my business. I run a learning startup called Manageroo, and we provide an affordable learning manager to small businesses, nonprofits, and social enterprises. And Lakeithia and I actually are working on this project together. And for the last 6 months, we reintroduced it to the market with a different sell than my original structure I had a few years ago when I first started the business. And in the conversation with Dana, it was just really helpful to think of the business in terms of the Ouija board that's here. And Dana, it would be helpful for me to share my experience. Yeah. And so
that's absolutely, there's nothing better.
Okay, and so one of the things that was just really helpful was understanding how passion can produce clarity when you're looking at the Ouija board and where your business sits. And it's interesting, we had gotten to a point in our conversation through the questions with Dana where he said, "You're all over the map here," and I was really, and a little bit in each of the boxes. And we were able to really align my passion for systems, for building systems to deliver great impact around learning, to landing in box two for thought leadership and telling the story that coming into the work into the industry that we're in, how we're supporting businesses, being a startup, that telling a story is the way that we could market the business in a strong way and to have the most impact. And it was it was a real aha moment for me after learning about the different quadrants here and seeing the effort that Lakeithia and I have been putting into doing the work. We've been kind of moving with efforts that you would find in each of the boxes. And really, from working with Dana, I was able to consolidate that into box two, and then we can go deep on thought leadership and telling our story to make a bigger impact long term.
And I want to intercede because this often happens. Here she had left this business to work for Meta and had been there how long? Year and a half?
Year and a half, yeah.
Year and a half. And it looked like a blip. Uh-oh, Meta didn't work out. She had to go back and pick up where she left off. No, Meta hired her because of what she had figured out through her business. They wanted her skill and her insights from what she was doing in her business. And then she developed it while she was at Meta. She improved the systems approach and brought it back. So it turned a negative or a potentially perceived negative into a roaring positive. And that is what we're talking about in working with this thing. So not only did she get focused probably on the right box, but maybe you'll get to 3 soon, or who knows. But it's always moving, and that's what you want to know. But then to find evidence that you were kind of, it was kind of like you didn't want to deal with it. It just blasted out there. And so
Yeah.
I just love it when that works out.
Piece in regards to my conversation with Dana, what was very helpful was connecting my experience, which I hadn't shared initially with you all, but connecting my experience of working at Meta, working with Brainstore based out of Switzerland, and how that aided in building the system that I created in Manageroo, and then even using that system initially. Lakeithia joined with me as a team, but Lakeithia was one of our first customers when I did the business years ago. And then I scaled it down and got recruited to join Facebook/Meta, and after refined it, as Dana had said. And so I think pulling the experience and the stories and the success stories from using these systems and with large organizations around the world, as well as internally at Meta, it was able to kind of connect the dots to build a story, because I hadn't thought that it was a story that we needed. I thought it was all, okay, let's refine this product again. She's like, you're so focused on product, as though you're in quadrant 4, but you're not in quadrant 4. Why are people going to buy from you? What is it? What have you done with this? Like, how do we know it's going to work? And it was connecting the experience into all of the different scenarios I could provide and the case studies I can provide where it worked, and into building a story that can then sell our services and sell it to customers who need our services. So it was very helpful.
And I also like that because what you found is a fountainhead of stories underneath your personal story. So you can be very responsive in a sales call or building a relationship and bring things out that are germane. So it's very rich. Okay, Kathy.
I echo what Millie said with Dana. I had a very similar experience. I am an event planner, and I've pivoted my focus to be really providing play and conscious collaboration into corporations, and it's going really well. But I'm just kind of going along, and I wasn't really focused on telling the story at all, just like Millie said. And Dana suggested that, from the visionary and then to the thought leader, I'm in exactly where Millie is. The thought leader can like box. And what that allows me to do is to help, so to define what it is that play and conscious collaboration does for corporations. And what it does is it brings clarity, and Dana helped me like figure that out. It was such a wonderful session. I recommend her so highly. Just on the listening side, it was great to get good feedback, and think about the things, because I'm in it, to pull back and have that perspective. So Dana, thank you so much.
You're welcome. But you know what was interesting in talking to you is you're doing something really quite forward, and that is consciousness in a corporate setting. I mean, normally people do not bring that word up. I mean, who do you find interested in it? Who are the thought leaders you're calling on? Who taps into it the quickest?
Yeah, so those are great questions that I'm still looking at. There aren't that many people billing themselves as that, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
So your advice was so spot on. You said become a thought leader, and the action
Right.
steps you told me to take were to create a white paper, which is
Yep.
basically like become, write a few articles and a few tangible bullet points that really align with what, conscious collaboration looks like. Maybe people don't understand it, so like make it really
Mhm.
clear as to the impact that it has almost immediately in
Right.
organizations.
Mhm.
And then you said, when I'm charging, so I'm sure everybody in the audience has had this issue, like how do you charge for your skills? You were very specific. You said the mystery is in the idea, not the execution. The mystery is the idea, and so charge for the idea, because that
Mhm.
price point is undefinable. Like no one's doing
Right.
it, so no one's decided. So like know my
Right.
worth and charge for that mystery. And then of course labor costs what it costs, and all the other executable
Mhm.
things
Mhm.
are easily tagged to prices. So that was really helpful. And then I loved, you gave me the biggest suggestion, which I haven't done yet, which is to get an assistant. But I think what Millie said, it reminded me that I need better processes, because my business is taking
Mhm.
off so fast. I'm so
Mhm.
grateful, but my
Mhm.
processes aren't in place, and having an assistant is really going to help me really refine my processes. So I'm so grateful. Yeah.
Great. You always want to end something with 3 takeaways. What are the 3 takeaways? And there is no such thing as no momentum. You either have positive momentum or negative momentum. Many people come in and say, oh, things are great. We're doing just great the way we've always done. That means negative momentum to me, right there. I mean, so momentum is your friend, and your marketing is a tool to manage it in the direction you want. In Kathy's case, she wants to push it forward to be considered a thought leader and capture that spot, because that brings in the most money. And then personality drives momentum. Don't go to boilerplate. People say, oh, now we're a business, we're really operating as business, and you start turning out boilerplate. If you can retain a personality in how you go about talking to your marketplace, you are going to have an advantage. You can always go back to it, bring it forward, innovate with it, do fun things with it, surprise people. It's really very important. Your unfolding story is your biggest
Unfolding story.
asset,
Biggest asset.
because it leads you where you want to go. Respect it.
And that's done during the visionary concept sales #1, right? That's where you figure out your story.
No. Every
okay.
single box, you need to look at your story again and even retune it. I always called it back test your CV. Look at your CV, the way you're saying it now. Look where you come, look where you are, then back test it, rewrite it to tell the story of how you got to where you are now or where you want to go.
One of the questions I have is, how do I find what my vision is or my concept sale? What if I'm sort of struggling with that? How do you help people do that?
What turns you on? Go to your file cabinet or your computer files, and what do you always seem to collect information on? What you just can't not read it, think it, talk it, share it, go after, even network it. I think that's the best way. It's almost a scent. You move to where it excites you, because if you're not excited about what you're doing, it's going to show.
When you're in a funk about these things, there are no sales, there's nobody calling, oh my goodness.
There's
Is
one
there a
thing.
suggestion you have for sort of coming out of that funk and getting a little bit more
Absolutely.
positive again?
There's one thing you need to do. Qualitative market research. Essentially, a structured advice call. 5 open-ended questions, very skillfully written down. They promote thought. There's not an easy answer. It's not black and white. Do you like this or not? No, yes, no. Thoughtful, open-ended questions. And you start the research by the question that catches them by surprise. They go like, uh-oh, I'm going to have to think on this call. Marketing is a verb.